Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. It's me, A. Prustian. We are here for the second day of trial in District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. Oh, this was Lana. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. What? A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. Is she covering up for Jake? Does she think he did it? That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. I'm just curious about her motives. I feel like that's not clear yet. Alright, February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. I'm pretty sure we're not always in courtroom number 9. I feel like we've been in, like, number 4 and things. Maybe that's not true. I haven't paid that much attention. I want to pay attention, and then it's just a detail I forget. But if it is the case that we've been in several different courtrooms, I like the idea that every judge is this guy. Like, they just have, like, clones of him. 1 per room. Alright, court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. That's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's supposed to be an admirable trait? Sure. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls... Who is it gonna be? Oh. Meekins? The suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. I'm not so sure this guy is the innocent little lost lamb he claims himself to be. I don't know, maybe he is, but... Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, That would be murderer, sir. Edgeworth has, like, no time for this. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm part of what you would call the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. The fuck is up with this guy? This is my favorite expression he has, though. It just cracks me up. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm, I guess. Crime report, sir. God. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. I think he has just been convinced himself that he did it. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Okay, so I'm gonna press him on things, which I always do anyways. We'll do it. Okay, we'll press. It's not your normal duty. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Huh. Yikes. No, there's a scary thought. Yeah. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. This fucking thing. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, that's interesting. Because there was a silhouette of the Blue Badger, like kind of that jester cap looking thing, in the very opening cutscene of the murder itself. I don't know what that means yet. Oh, so that's why you went into the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Okay, he spotted the suspicious man. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? There it is! I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Yeah, 450 and 514. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. first time is when I relocated the blue badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Okay. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. Okay, and suddenly attacked. So you were attacked. Can you please tell me exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife! Detective Goldman pulled a knife on you? What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. And you aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. Swung your arms like an octopus, huh? So I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life. Okay. Then I did it. What exactly do you mean when you say, did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. Made sure to close my eyes like a man. What? I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out. Okay. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came through, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? Yeah, he's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir... Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Delivered it... What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. Contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. I believe it. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just, what are we getting ourselves into? I don't think it's gonna be the murder. Fucking Blue Badger. It's gonna cover up all the most important stuff. Okay, so we don't have... We can't see Goodman, if it is Goodman, his face. Oh, the fucking flag. There's Meekins. Like an octopus. Oh no! Oh, the fucking camera! Oh, jeez. And the other guy's gone. What the fuck? What? Oh no. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling fleece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Okay, we've got the security video. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room, and some sort of a activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Okay, mystery man. So I didn't even get a chance to, like, finding contradictions before, which is fine. Okay, his face can't be clearly seen in the video. Okay, by the way, I don't really do voices. You've probably noticed it's not really my thing. But I can't help it with Meekins. Just the way they write him inspires me to speak in a certain way. But I'm regretting it when he has all this testimony to give. Anyways. Oh, Meekins. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. That's a good point. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. Everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay. Well, we will look for contradictions, but first, let's press him on things. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with the knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter? The latter? You were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it. No question the other person was Detective Goodman. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people... Okay. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Huh? Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Eek! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please, be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. And this is the fingerprint thing. He opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. wonder what kind of methods he's tried. The man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints. Then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this, too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. Oh, God. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir? If I may say something, sir? Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? I have no idea. I'm just gonna say that right now. I don't know. Let's say there is a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. I mean, of course he would. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. Okay, I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Kind of a good question. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Fuck if I know. Okay. Is he wearing gloves? That's my guess, is if he's wearing gloves, he couldn't have used the fingerprint thing. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to say that. Which I think would be... Oh. Play. Pause. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's play it until he gets to it, then. Here. Present. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this? Hold on a second. I need to use my eye drops. Well, I don't get it. Shit, that's the wrong thing. Do you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine? Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again. Now what do I do? Play the video again. Very well, let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Play the security tape. Okay. Let's give this a try. I don't think I lost any investigative or testimony health from it. Shoot, though, that was my best guess, is he was wearing gloves. Wait. Go back. Let's watch this fight. Okay, so he got this blood on him. Did we see that blood in the, I'm gonna try presenting the blood on the jacket. This knife is not the knife from the evidence thing either. It's not the switchblade. I don't know, I'm gonna try presenting this. Ah, shit. Okay. Let's try this again. Could it be the knife? Shit. Okay, so not that. Maybe there isn't anything. And we're wrong. 17:14. It's the time we expected it to be. Anything here? I don't know. I really thought the gloves would be the thing. They don't seem to be. This really could be him. God, I don't know, actually. Could it be like a left-handed thing? I doubt it. Okay, I'm just gonna present this one more time and then move forward and say maybe it's not. Now what do? I'm gonna return to cross-examination because I couldn't... Seems I've been taking the wrong approach. I don't know. There's gotta be something. Okay, assuming the witness is still willing to continue, that is. Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. It is my duty as a police officer to help the lost, sir. Great. Now they think I'm lost. Well, we are. Okay, so... Is there anything I can present for any of this? Okay. Let me look at my court record here. This looked more like the knife that Goodman was holding than the other one, but it's hard to say. IDs. We don't know who 77777 is, but I would be shocked if it's not Police Chief Gant. And I'm sure it'll matter somehow. Yeah, 5:14 is the right time. Screwdriver, the lost item report. Was he reporting his... Oh no, I didn't mean to... I meant to check. Ah, shit. Whoops. I guess I'm gonna go through the video again. That was a misclick. You know what? I'm just going to double check that there isn't anything here I'm supposed to have done. Okay. Thank you, hint website. I did not notice this at all because I was only looking at the people. Here's the thing. This fucking light. The indicator light. I totally forgot that's how it works. So if we go back, actually let me play, rewind. So this is nobody's here, right? So this is before he comes in. If the light's on, he doesn't have to fingerprint it. It'll just be open. Okay, I'm gonna present that. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Yeah. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker... Let's rewind to a little earlier. Right? Here's where we'll see the light is already on. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Order, order, what's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensor? Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Oh dear. Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. Eep. The locker wasn't locked. Oh, I missed the rest of it. Point out the other contradiction. Maybe it'll be after the locker's open, we'll be able to see something. There! Something fell down. Wait. Go back. This. It could have, like, covered the sensor. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Yeah, the paper falls out. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But, sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car doors, sir. Objection, we can't be sure. That item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Yeah, I think it's the 7777 number. I guess that could be Marshall, if he is, you know, maybe because he did it because he's trying to investigate something. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Of course it does. So the door closing, my tie chokes. The object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I've finally got this figured out. What insulator would there be? Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? The rubber glove? Rubber is an insulator. It's gonna be this one. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. We can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. Huh. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Is he handcuffing himself on accident when he does that? Order! So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir, me? Sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Maybe a little bit. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Yeah, we do know that. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Yeah, so do we. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? That's a good point. This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, though it doesn't make much of a difference. I love the spiky hair references. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Okay. Oops. Wrong button. One other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. My hand wasn't wrapped in bandages. I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. Yep. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it there so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When it's used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. Huh? What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Must be so difficult for him. Okay, at the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Earlier, I believe, you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Huh. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got. Is it that obvious? Well, shit. I mean, of course it is. That obvious to me, too, Phoenix. Okay. Let me see what my options are here. I mean, the one thing I can think of is that, like, he lost his ID card. Checking, not presenting. It doesn't say what item it is, but he doesn't know the number. Okay, let me try to use that. Had used his ID card. I'm gonna try presenting it here. Let's see if this works. It's my best guess. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. No, when I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing, and it doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Yeah, and he didn't die. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? Here's the issue with all of this, though. If that's not Goodman there, we're back to square one with our original case. I have only one thing to say to the defense. Huh? Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes? What's he up to? Edgeworth has realized the same thing I have realized, Phoenix. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. No, it's not. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness? Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! Yeah, Phoenix, you walked right into that one. He lost sight of what you're ultimately here for. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Yeah. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? Where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. That's right. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object? Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Right, we know that. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, a large amount of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Oh, God. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Okay, I am out of time, however, so we will have to come back and see what happens with Jake Marshall the next time. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!